In my last video, I talked about 4 different versions of Sonic Colors: the original Wii version, Dolphin Emulator, Sonic Colors Ultimate, and the Project Re-Rainbow mod. My verdict was that there wasn't any one perfect way to play the game, as all 4 of these methods had their pros and cons. After I released the video, however, a glimmer of hope arrived in the form of a barrage of comments kindly informing me of a secret 5th option: Sonic Colors DX. This is a mod pack for the original game with a custom build of Dolphin that makes various graphical enhancements and alleged gameplay improvements. So how does it stack up to the other methods of playing the game? The first thing you'll notice about this mod is Sonic's custom player model, and I can't say I'm a huge fan of it. His gloves are gray for some reason, and he has a weird fur texture that probably doesn't show up too well on a YouTube video, but trust me, it's there. Thankfully, it's pretty trivial to just delete the model file, but bear in mind that you'll need to do this before you install the mod. The second thing you'll notice are the loading times, or rather, the lack of loading times. This is easily the best feature of this mod. It far outpaces any other re-release, and even puts the original Wii version's load times to shame. Moving on to the game proper, there's a few neat enhancements here. The stage models have some ambient occlusion going on, the bloom effects aren't as pixely anymore, and the game even has anti-aliasing now, though it doesn't always look all that great, especially on distant objects. More noticeably, this mod includes an HD texture pack, which appears to be redrawn from scratch. It's certainly a good attempt, and the HUD in particular has seen a marked improvement over the original's crusty UI, but I must admit that this is the one area where Colors Ultimate has an edge. As many problems as that release may have, they did a fantastic job redrawing both the UI elements and the in-game textures to look as accurate as possible. Still, the textures in DX aren't bad, especially considering they're fan-made. The cutscenes are completely untouched, which kind of surprised me, though I suppose I prefer this over Ultimate's cutscenes, which look like they ran all the frames through Waifu2X and called it a day. Still, I would have liked to see some sort of improvement here, considering how low-res the original's cutscenes are. So what about the gameplay? Well, this mod is supposed to fix the problems introduced with the 60 FPS action replay code, which I mistakenly called a gecko code in the last video, and somehow not a single soul called me out for it. Anyway, after hearing this, there was one glitch in particular that came to mind, and I had to know if they fixed it. If you don't know, in Aquarium Park Act 1, this tube at the beginning has a tendency to launch Sonic into the ether when playing at 60 FPS, which is inconvenient. So let's see if Sonic Colors DX fixes it. Wait. Oh, you sly dog. You sly dog. Yeah, unfortunately, many of DX's fixes are more like duct tape solutions than anything else. They technically fix the issues, but it's usually in a really jarring and hacky way. I think the worst example of this comes with another feature of this mod, that being the substantial levels only option in the config script. First of all, this option is weird. It's supposed to skip the filler levels and only require you to play the substantial ones, hence the name, but whether the mod considers a level substantial or not doesn't seem to follow any rhyme or reason. Like cutting out Tropical Resort Act 4? Sure, that makes sense. It's short, doesn't do anything interesting, and it reuses level design from the previous acts. But Starlight Carnival Act 5? Really? That level is one of the longest in the game, has an entire 3D section, and introduces the Hover Wisp, but you ditched that level in favor of Act 6? The 2D level that's only a minute long? Anyway, the real problem with this option is how these levels are skipped. Now, I wasn't expecting them to redesign the world maps or anything, but I thought maybe the filler acts would just be marked as complete upon entering the world. Instead, this is how Sonic Colors DX goes about it. Hell. One more thing I want to touch on is that while DX does fix some issues with the game, it also introduces some new ones. I encountered a few on my Twitch stream of this mod, such as the skybox and Sweet Mountain flickering, Sonic moving abnormally slow in some sections, the balloons in Tropical Resort being MIA, and most egregiously, my computer blue screening in the middle of Aquarium Park. In fairness, that last one might have been an issue with my PC, but I thought I should mention it anyway in the spirit of full disclosure. So what, I hear you ask? Mods like this always have their issues. Well, you're right, they do, but usually I'm able to recommend them anyway with the footnote, it's still in development, they'll fix it eventually. The problem is that in Sonic Colors DX's case, the mod hasn't been updated in over 3 years, so it's pretty much a dead project. Any problems this mod pack may have are here to stay, whether you like it or not. Sonic Colors DX has some neat things going for it. It's got some decent graphical enhancements, super fast load times, and some dubious but effective fixes for the problems introduced by the 60 FPS code. However, due to its various issues, I'd only recommend it to hardcore fans who already have colors in their Dolphin libraries. It's not a good place to start for newcomers if you ask me, and since it's not being actively developed anymore, I don't think it ever will be. The dream of a perfect modern version of Sonic Colors isn't dead just yet, but right now it lives or dies with Re-Rainbow. Here's hoping Blue Wolf's team sees it through to the end. Did you know I'm releasing my own video game soon? It's true, link is in the description. Stay tuned for more Sonic content coming very soon. Thanks for watching, and as always, enjoy life.